Today on Variant, we kick off our first ever Artist Alley episode with writer of Five Ghosts, Frank Barbiere. Welcome to Variant. We love comics more than I like telling rude people you failed this city. I'm your host, Arris. Today we're kicking off a brand new segment called Artist Alley, which will be episodes where we focus on talking to creators in the world of comic books, creators we already know and up-and-comers. So this would include writers, artists, colorists, inkers, editors, etc. And today we're kicking off our very first Artist Alley episode with the writer of one of my favorite Image comic books, Five Ghosts. But he's also written a crap ton of other comics like Avengers World, Superboy, and his newest title, Broken World, for Boom Studios. With all that said, let's talk to Frank about some comic books. We're here at C2E2 with Frank Barbiere, who's obviously the writer of Five Ghosts amongst other comics like Avengers World, Broken World, and a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about. But
only World books this year, I guess.
Yeah, you have a thing with World books?
Last year was colors. I did like white suits, blackout, black market, and this year World. We're going big.
And then we're going into numbers next year. So my personal favorite thing you're writing right now, you're writing a lot of great stuff. My personal favorite is Five Ghosts. So for people who don't know about Five Ghosts, what is it in like a nice little bite-sized chunk?
Five Ghosts is an action-adventure book that takes place in the 30s, has a big pulp influence as well as a lot of literary influence, and the main character is a treasure hunter who's an Indiana Jones-type character possessed by five ghosts that take the form of literary characters. And the characters are Robin Hood, Merlin, Sherlock, Musashi Miyamoto, and Dracula. The main character can take each of the ghosts and use their powers and kind of channel the ghosts of those characters.
So as far as the future of this, even I know you guys are in talks or got a deal for Sci-Fi Channel, so as far as like comic and TV, is there anything you could say as far as the future for Five Ghosts?
Well, we're going to continue the book as long as we can. We love the book. It's ours. We love doing it. I say we'll do it until people just completely stop reading or we stop wanting to do it. And as of now, we want to keep doing it. We think there's just so much more opportunity for the story. We like the characters, and we can always change it. That's the fun thing about a book you have complete ownership over. No one tells us what to do. If I say we want to do like a space arc, we can make that work. It will continue as long as we can. It's really cool for us to already have 3 volumes behind us. I mean, we're wrapping volume 3, and we feel like we're picking people up now. Like now that we have a little bit of a library, we're getting some momentum. And then with the TV stuff, we should have an announcement very soon about it. It's been a very fast journey, all things considered. The option, I believe, was announced in July, and then the sale to Sci-Fi was announced in October, so we have some really cool stuff. I'm super happy with everyone involved. The take is very honest. I mean, reading the script, it almost felt like I wrote it because they got the tone so right, and it's all exciting. I mean, I feel like I have to put it in the back of my head, right. But I feel like the next step is when we're really going to see a lot of announcements. You'll see casting, you'll see all that stuff. So, I mean, fingers crossed we get that soon. So
moving along again, because you write a lot of stuff, Broken World for Boom Studios. It's an all-new book that you're launching. What is it about? I know it's a post-apocalyptic type book, so what's the concept, and is it a mini-series? Is it going to be an ongoing? What's going on there?
Broken World is a book that I've been developing with Boom for a long time. I'm really excited about. My co-creator on the book is an artist named Chris Peterson, who's absolutely awesome, and I think it'll take a lot of people by surprise with how good he is. But Broken World tells the story of a near future where an asteroid, a giant asteroid, is detected and it's going to wipe out Earth. So the world comes together, the governments of the world come together and form an alliance called PAX, which is the Planetary Alliance for Extraterrestrial Relocation. And they decide how they're going to evacuate the Earth and who can go. And therein is the conflict. Our main character is a woman who gets told she cannot leave Earth. And she's essentially issued a death sentence along with a bunch of other people on Earth. And it's her story of figuring out how the hell is she going to get off the planet that's doomed when she's been told she can't. And it's really fun because it's a very character-focused story. And there's no great, crazy device like zombies or robots or mutants. It's really just about this character doing everything she can to stay with her family. The twist is her family gets to go, but she can't because she has a secret in her past, which we will explore, and her family doesn't know. And it's just that she's lying to them, saying like, oh, can't wait to evacuate, and that's the drama that she has to find a way off.
Well, I think stuff like that is really interesting, just like exploring human nature in general. So is there anything like you put in your writing that's like things that affect you in your life and whatnot that you're like, this is kind of a way to put it, put it into a comic book form?
With me, Broken World, specifically is much more about like having to kind of pivot your whole life that you thought you had put back together when something you can't control happens. And I think it's very relevant in our society that disaster stories and post-apocalypse stories are very popular because of this. But we have our character Elena, who again did something terrible in the past, has built this whole new life, thinks she has it figured out, and all of a sudden something completely out of control, out of her control, out of the universe's control, like makes her pivot. It's about her kind of redefining herself and figuring out like, okay, maybe this life I've built wasn't the right life for me. Who am I gonna be now that it's all changed? And I think that's relevant for me as, again, I've changed careers, I've moved around, and like I think every person like can relate to that, something suddenly changing the path of their lives.
Definitely. Broken World sounds awesome. Definitely gonna be checking that out, and you guys should too. But like I said, you're writing a lot of other stuff. So what else can what else do you want to say that you're writing? Because I can't even remember, dog. I think you're writing like 7-9 titles right now.
A lot of stuff is wrapped, thankfully, but I'm always trying to push ahead. Solar Man of the Atom, I've been working on for Dynamite. It's been an awesome project to be involved with. We introduced a brand new Woman of the Atom who has taken center focus in the book. We'll be wrapping that at issue 12. Which comes out this month, actually. So that has been a big part of my life for the last year, and I'm really proud of all the work we did there. Also, the book I did at Boom last year, Black Market, is going to be collected, I think, in August or September. And again, that was with one of my favorite working artists, Victor Santos. And just, I'm so proud of that book and can't wait to have the trade to give to people. I feel like that's actually pretty much it for the summer, but there's going to be a lot of new stuff in the fall. I've been working on a lot of new creator-owned stuff to bring out, and really my focus for 2015 has been continuing 5 Ghosts, and Broken World is the new creator-owned book that we're hoping to really get out there and bring people on board with.
Well, if it's anything like 5 Ghosts, it's going to go like 4 or 5 issues, then it's going to blow up, and then it's going to get a TV series.
We can only hope.
Big thanks to Frank Barbiere for spending time with us. If you want to follow Frank on the interwebs, I've put his information in the description below. As for my reading recommendations of Frank's work, definitely be sure to check out 5 Ghosts. As I said before, it's one of my favorite Image titles right now. Also, his work on Avengers World is great, and it ties in with Jonathan Hickman's run on the Avengers. And last but certainly not least, his brand new title Broken World, which is being released next week, June 3rd to be exact. I've already had the chance to read it, and trust me, it's a great sci-fi read. Several weeks ago, the first official photo of Jared Leto as the Joker was released, and soon after we got the first official photo of the whole Suicide Squad. And since then, we've been seeing on-set photos popping up left and right. And with all these pictures showing up online, a lot of you wanted to know what my thoughts are on how the Suicide Squad looks, but mainly Joker and Harley Quinn. But let's start with the other members first. We have Slipknot, who looks okay. You have Captain Boomerang, who I just really want to see throw a boomerang. Enchantress, who looks twisted but cool. Katana, who looks almost spot on to the comics. Rick Flag, who looks okay. Harley Quinn, who I'll get to in a second. Deadshot, who looks good, especially with his mask on. Killer Croc, who I really just wish was bigger, but oh well. And El Diablo, who also looks pretty darn close to the comic book, so no complaint there. But now on to the 2 most anticipated characters of the movie, Joker and Harley Quinn. As for the Joker, I'm very meh. The metal cap teeth and the tattoos, especially the damaged on his forehead, is like, really? The ha-has on his arm I don't mind much, but the just overall mixture of his tattoos and the metal teeth is very off-putting to me. And yes, I know Joker has had tattoos before in some interpretations in the comics, but I would have preferred a more classic Joker look. Either way, I will hold off all final judgments until I see Jared Leto's performance as the Joker, because he's a great actor, so his performance could be awesome, plus for all we know, maybe his look will make sense within the movie. At least I hope so. As for Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, overall, I think she looks great. I mean, Harley Quinn's design has changed quite a few times the last several years, from her classic one to her New 52 one, then the roller derby one, and then you have all the Arkham designs. I mean, first of all, Margot Robbie was a fantastic casting choice, as she looks exactly like Dr. Harleen Francis Quinzel, and of course, with her makeup and costume on, she looks just like Harley Quinn. She also has some tattoos in this movie, but for her, I think it makes more sense, because as most of us know, she was the Joker psychiatrist in Arkham, who ended up becoming infatuated with the Joker, so it makes sense she would get Joker-related tattoos since she's obsessed and in love with him. But yes, that's just my 2 cents on how I think everyone's costume looks in the Suicide Squad film thus far. However, I'm sure lots of you have different opinions, so let me know what yours are in the comment section below. First up for Wednesday, May 27th, we have Princess Leia issue 4. Putting this simply, this comic is written by the great Mark Waid and drawn by the awesome Terry Dodson, meaning the writing is great and so is the art. Here we have Secret Wars 2099 issue 1. When everything ends, it's time to go back to the future, revisit the world of 2099 and see it in a whole new light, as characters who have never been seen before make their first appearances. And finally, we have Convergence issue 8. This is the final issue, and all the heroes of the DC universe unite to face a crisis of infinite proportions. But when it's all done, what reality survives? And that brings another episode of Variant to a close. Thanks again to Frank Barbiere for joining us on our very first Artist Alley segment. But as always, you can like up on your Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones. But I will see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics.
If I could be any Batman villain, I would want to be an assassin from the Court of Owls.
I would be the Riddler because he is my favorite Batman villain.
The Batman supervillain that I would want to be is probably Deadshot because he's the second best assassin and best shot in all of the DC universe.
Can I be Bane? No, I'm just joking. Of course I'm going to be the Joker.
My favorite Batman villain is the Joker because he is so very psychopath.